Hello everybody, welcome to week 5. Actually, we're about halfway through week 5. I apologize that this video is a little late, but it's been, as you can guess, a very busy week, especially as we're getting closer to the end of the term. And just keep that in mind, we are getting near the end. Week 5 is near an end. We're here on Thursday. So we have week 6 and week 7, and then a short half week for 7.5. But that time is going to go really quickly. Those of you who have done online classes before, you probably know that. Those of you who don't, just keep that in mind. Things do tend to go very quickly at this point, and we do have a lot of ground to cover. This week in particular is a pretty busy one. This might be the busiest week we have in this class, just because A, we're starting something new. I mean, we got introduced to Excel last week, but we're really getting into it this week. And B, there are quite a number of exercises that you're going to be performing this week. They're good exercises. I think they're really going to help you get into what Excel is and what Excel offers. The discussion board for the week, it seems like it's kind of dry. It's like, where do you use charts and graphs in Excel, or have you ever used them before? But there's a reason why we are asking this question, because we're getting really in depth in these kinds of visual or graphic representations, charts and graphs, and they really are important. So don't just write off the discussion boards as just really boring and it's not necessary or important. It really is. It's part of the greater whole of week 5 and also week 6. So keep that in mind. Keep doing the good work you're doing in these discussion boards. I'm seeing a lot of pretty good conversation here. But the exercises themselves, they can be challenging. So I would encourage you, as you're going through the book, step by step. In fact, what I usually do when I've gone through them before is I just put a little check mark after every step that I've done, just to make sure I don't get lost, because there's certainly a lot of little things you need to do. But don't be ashamed if you have to start over again. I mean, I was talking to my students in one of my night classes on one of our campuses here, and a number of them felt really bad that they had to start over. That's okay. In fact, you're going to learn it better if you have to do something like that, because you're going to have to just walk through the steps again. Give yourself time, walk through it slowly, be very detail-oriented, and I think you're going to end up with a really good product at the end. So just do the best you can with these. We're not expecting that everyone is going to be an Excel expert going into this week or finishing up this class. Just remember, everyone starts at a different level. Somebody's here with Excel, somebody's here with Excel. The goal of a class like this is just to get everybody to move up. Okay, everybody's going to improve at a different rate. Everyone is going to end at a different place. But in the end, everyone's going to be much better with Excel. So you've got a number of Excel assignments. You've got another thing that seems like it doesn't really fit in this week or maybe even in this class. It's an ACT assessment. You may have taken some of these in other classes. There's a talent assessment. I think there's a math assessment. This one is going to be about locating information. Now, don't fret too much about this. It's important that you do it. It's important that you take time. It takes maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. But in the end, when you look at it and you say, oh my gosh, my grade is a 50 or a 52 or a 48 or something, oh, don't worry. That's actually where most Bryant and Stratton students end up. And there's actually a formula that we follow to essentially change that grade, so it's going to end up higher than you think it is. The reason is because a lot of the questions they ask on this assessment, they range from kind of high school level all the way to graduate level in terms of locating information online. So don't worry too much about this, okay? Just go through it. It's part of a greater whole in your degree program here. You get a certification at the end that basically says you've gone through all these different kinds of assessments. But your grade's not going to hold you up, okay? That whatever you end up getting is going to end up being higher than what you see generated right after the test is done. But if you do have questions about that, certainly feel free to ask. And as always, just ask any questions. You've all been really good about using the Ask Your Instructor discussion board, and I really appreciate that. And keep doing that whenever you have questions. Or if it's something else that you may not want to share or broadcast at the class or something, I completely get it. Send me an email. I'm going to be out of town starting tomorrow and coming back on Thursday, or on Sunday, but I will have my laptop with me, so I'm going to be checking emails just like I always do. I'm going to be in the discussion boards just as I always am. So if you don't hear back from me, give me a little more time. I may be still, on the road, driving through the snow or something like that. But I will get back to you as soon as I can. So, as always, let me know if you have questions. Keep working hard. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great work. And let's finish this semester strong. Thanks, folks.